Imagine you accidentally cut your finger while cooking. Within minutes, the area becomes red, swollen, warm, and painful. Have you ever wondered why this happens? Is it just a reaction, or is your body actually protecting you? But did you know that inflammation can be both helpful and harmful, depending on the situation? In today's class, we will clearly understand what inflammation is, its causes, and the different types of inflammation in a simple and easy way. So stay with me till the end of this video. Who all have visited first time on the channel, please do subscribe and watch. We'll see inflammation. First we'll see introduction of this chapter. This topic is very important. Inflammation is a protective response of our body tissues to injury or infection. It is a part of body's defense mechanism that helps to remove harmful stimuli and start the healing process. Here, inflammation, this process acts as a defense mechanism to protect our body. The harmful stimuli may include microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, or fungi, and then physical injuries, chemical agents, and then dead or damaged cells. And then the main goal, inflammation, is to destroy the harmful agents, remove damaged tissues, and then start tissue repair and healing. In pathology, mainly in pathology, inflammation is considered an important reaction of the immune system. So we'll move to the definition. We'll see the proper definition of inflammation here. Inflammation is defined as a protective vascular and cellular response of living tissues to injury, infection, or even irritation. Here it is a protection. It gives a protection for vessels and then also for the cells that responds to living tissues. Next we'll see classical signs of inflammation. Here 5 are there, very important. In this topic, this classical signs of inflammation is very important. These signs were described by Aulus Cornelius Celsus. That is, first sign is a classical sign is a redness, that is rubor, that is due to increased blood flow. And then comes to the second sign, that is heat, that is called calor, that is due to vasodilatation. Vessels get dilate, that is due to vasodilatation or dilation we can say. And then next comes to the third classical sign, that is swelling, that is called tumor, that is due to fluid accumulation. There will be the collection of fluid, contaminated fluid. And then pain, that is called dolor, due to chemical mediators and nerve irritation. And then also one more added, loss of function, that is functional loss, that is added later by Rudolf Virchow. Here you take an example as if you cut your finger, it becomes red, swollen, warm and painful. This is nothing but a inflammation. We'll move next. Causes. We'll see causes of inflammation here. Inflammation occurs due to various injurious agents. The main causes include, first one is infectious agents. Here there are most common causes. For example, you take infectious agents like, for example, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and then parasites. And also some diseases like tuberculosis, pneumonia, viral infections. And then these microorganisms spread, invade in the sense spread tissues and trigger inflammation. Next we'll see physical agents. Already we have discussed infectious agents. Now we are going to discuss physical agents. Physical injuries can damage tissues and cause inflammation. For example, you take trauma or injury, burns, frostbite, radiation, and also mechanical injuries. Example, if skin gets burned by hot water, inflammation occurs. Yes, of course. Next we'll see chemical agents. Certain chemicals can irritate tissues. You take example as strong acids and then alkalis, toxic chemicals, and then also environmental pollutants. Here Example, chemical exposure causing skin irritation. Next we'll move tissue necrosis. Here necrosis means you already know that is death of tissue cells. When cells die, inflammatory reaction occurs to remove the dead tissue. Okay, here also you can see the examples like causes. Example causes: ischemia, that is lack of blood supply, and then trauma, and then infection. It's a cause. Next we'll see immunological reactions. Sometimes the immune system reacts excessively and causes inflammation. For example, allergic reactions, autoimmune diseases, and then also take some diseases as example, that is rheumatoid arthritis. That is our immune system attacks our own body, and then it is a joint pain. It creates pain, redness, swelling. That is nothing but a rheumatoid arthritis, and then asthma, and also systemic lupus erythematosus. This is all about immunological reactions. Next we'll see foreign bodies. Here, foreign materials entering the body can trigger inflammation. For example, dust particles, splinters, sutures, glass pieces. The body tries to remove or isolate, separate these substances. This is regarding foreign bodies. Next we'll see types of inflammation. Here, inflammation is mainly classified based on duration and characteristics. There are two main types. Based on what? Based on duration and the characteristics of that inflammation. That is acute and chronic. Acute inflammation and chronic inflammation we'll see in detail one by one. First one, acute inflammation. Here, first we'll see what is acute inflammation. Acute inflammation is a rapid, very fast, rapid and short term inflammatory response that occurs immediately after injury. For example, it takes a duration as few minutes. It may take few minutes, sometimes few hours, and then sometimes few days. Here main features, that is sudden onset, sudden you can see, and then short duration, and then fluid exudation, fluid can come out, and then neutrophil infiltration. Here neutrophil is a type of WBC, and then where this neutrophil migrate, that moves and comes into the tissue cells, accumulates there. That is nothing but a neutrophil infiltration, and then cells involved are mainly neutrophils here. Next we'll see that example for acute inflammation, like acute appendicitis, acute tonsillitis, skin injury. It may be some bacterial infections. And then what are all the characteristics of this acute inflammation? Here vasodilatation, that is vessels get dilate, and then increased vascular permeability. Vessels permeability is going to increase, and then migration of WBC, that is nothing but a movement of WBC we can see in a acute inflammation. Next we'll discuss in detail, that is chronic inflammation. We'll see what is chronic inflammation. Here we'll see the definition first. Chronic inflammation is long lasting. It takes long lasting inflammation that persists for weeks, months, or even years in some conditions. What are all the causes for chronic inflammation? Here, persistent infection, and then autoimmune diseases, and then long-term exposure to toxic agents. These are the causes. Next, we'll see cells involved. Mainly here, macrophages, lymphocytes, plasma cells. In the acute inflammation, their neutrophils is a measure. But here, macrophages, lymphocytes, and then plasma cells. And then what are all the characteristics, features? Tissue destruction, and then fibrosis, that is the scar formation we can say, and then continuous inflammation. We'll take an example, okay, tuberculosis, and then rheumatoid arthritis, and also some chronic bronchitis. In the case of chronic bronchitis, here you can observe difference between acute and chronic inflammation, features, and then acute and then chronic. Here in the feature, onset is in acute there will be the sudden, and then in chronic slow, and then duration in acute here it is in a short term, it is in a Here in chronic, long term. And then cells. Features, third one, cells. Acute inflammation, neutrophils are included. And then here, chronic inflammation, macrophages and lymphocytes are the major cells involved. And then tissue damage comes to that one. Here in acute, there will be the mild. And then here in chronic, it will be severe. Tissue damage will be severe. And then comes to the last but not the least, healing. It's very important here. Healing, acute inflammation. In acute inflammation, healing takes usually complete. Usually, it's take complete. And then here in the chronic inflammation, often fibrosis. It may recur often fibrosis. Next, we'll see importance of inflammation. Inflammation is beneficial, but sometimes harmful. What are all the beneficial effects? We'll see. Here, destroys microorganisms, removes dead tissues, and then promotes healing. These are the beneficiaries. Next, harmful effects. We'll see harmful also. Harmful effects. Here, excess inflammation may cause tissue damage, chronic diseases, sometimes organ dysfunction. Yes. We'll take one simple example, okay, for understanding purpose. Injury. You take cut injury. Here injury occurs. After that, blood vessel gets dilated. Vasodilation we can see. And after that, WBC comes to the area. That is only. WBC comes to that area. And then bacteria are destroyed. Bacteria destroyed. And then tissue repair begins. This whole process is nothing but inflammation. I hope this is very simple. Clearly understood. Okay, last but not the least, we'll see conclusion here. Short conclusion. That is, inflammation is an essential protective response of the body against infection, injury, and harmful agents. It can be acute or it can be sometimes chronic, depending on the duration and severity. It's depending upon the duration and even severity of that infection. And then here, understanding inflammation helps nurses recognize disease process and then even patient symptoms. I hope you all are very clear with the topic, this pathology inflammation. Please give it a like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative content. Thank you for watching.